All right, we have reached really far from our original journey itself, right? So we had full cycles of EAST version 1, okay? And version 1's test led to version 2's empathize, and then EAST, we did that to version 2, and then now we are into version 3. We finished with our empathize. Obviously, the version 2's test led to version 3's uh, empathize, and now we have all these observations from the field, from experienced users as well as from novice users, for the first time users, and now we have noted everything down, and now we're wondering, how do we help them? The same routine, okay? You apply your multi-wise and say, find out what is the root cause of these people. Have you may have neglected or oversaw some of the you may have not paid attention to some of the finer details. This is your perfect place. So look at it, be curious, find out why are certain things happening. So multi-why, and then conflict of interest, if any left, can be used. Okay, here it should have now become part of your workflow itself. It's no longer, oh, what comes after empathize, what comes after analyze. It's become part of your workflow itself, right? So you've done it now twice, this is the third time you're doing it, so it becomes part of your workflow. Now apply it again, multi-wise followed by conflict of interest, your perspective versus your user's perspective, or your user's perspective versus their stakeholders perspective, or the user's perspective versus the interface itself, your user interface. Okay, so complete all of these and make sure that you understand the problem way better. The more time you spend on analysis and try to figure out stuff, the easier the next solve becomes. Okay, so that's how we keep going with this, on and on and on. So we do this solve part of it, not immediately after empathize, but we try to apply our mind and say, what's going on here, what I'm not able to understand, why are they doing this, why are they using their left hand to touch these buttons when I clearly designed it for the right hand. I'm just making stuff up, right? So you could have some of these problems. Why are they missing the big huge red button on the right hand side, which is so plain obvious to you, but this for first time users, maybe they don't notice it, right? Maybe they're completely missing it, they're not swiping as they're supposed to do, maybe it's not intuitive for them. So look, pay attention to these tiny details, these make a big difference. Okay, so the analysis, the empathize, if you made those tiny sharp observations, then look at now analysis, try to find out. If you are not able to get the answers, as always, try to see if you can involve some experts who have done that, who've done this kind of analysis before. They know the customer segment very well. Those are your best friends. So you can talk to them, you can ask them and find out why is it that they're doing certain things. Then of course the conflict of interest, you look at two parties involved and try to see how to have the cake and eat it too, right? You need to solve that, not a compromise solution somewhere in between, but you need to have the user's perspective satisfied for sure, and also your perspective or the stakeholder's perspective or the UI should address both of these. So it should have it, and need to try to address this. Okay, so but for that you need to frame it, right? Before we get into solve of these, you need to frame this. And this is why these constructs of multi-why and your conflict of interest really come in handy, and it has been mighty useful for me whenever I used it. It's helped me clarify my mind. Okay, I'm not confused, I'm not wondering what is the problem to be solved, but it becomes a lot easier and we can focus on the exact problem to solve. Okay, so if you've already done this so many times, it's easier, and now you will see you focusing on the problem more than the methodology itself, focusing on the user's perspective more than what are the constructs to be used, right? So it sort of becomes internal by the third iteration. That's been my experience, and I've seen many of my students or workshop attendees who have had the same kind of experience. Okay, so good luck with this analysis, multi-wise, conflict of interest, and finally what is the problem statement that you want to generate ideas for. That's going to be the output for your next stage of solve. Okay, so that's how it goes. You can clearly see how it works, right? So you see, you've done it so many times that it becomes very, very natural to you. Nobody has to come and tell you what to do next, but you're sort of on your own. It's autopilot. You can manage things on your own. Okay, that's the stage that you will reach by the end of the third iteration. Okay, we are closing in on the third iteration, but once you get the flow of it, it will become natural for you in the subsequent. It's not going to be just three iterations in any of the product or service designs that we have. It's always multi cycles, right? So many cycles put together is what you see as one version in a software product, particularly an app. Any app that you use and enjoy, they have actually come through even one version change, even a minor version change has come out because as a result of many of these cycles over and over again, which is exactly what we are doing in this course as well. Okay, so have your first hand experience at doing this, and then I assure you it'll become it'll come very easy to you. You don't have to think much. Okay, all right, good luck with the analysis of version 3. Okay, so see you soon. Again, if you run into difficulties, you know what to do. Okay, you reach out to us through the live sessions or in the live sessions or through the discussion forum, and we'll help you out. Okay, so good luck. See you soon.